ಬಂದಿದೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಹಿರಿಯರೇ ಇತರ ರಾಜ ರಾಣಿ, ಹತ್ತೋಣ ನಾವು ಅವರ ನೆನಪಿನ ದೋಣಿ, ಕೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ. ಇದು ಹಿರಿಯರ ಕತೆ ಹಿರಿಯರ ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಿ, ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಿ.
Hello listeners, this is your RJ Sri Hari Priya and I welcome you all to Anubhav, a joint project of National Institute of Social Defense, Ministry of Social Justice and Empowerment, Government of India and Media for Community Foundation, implemented by Nightingales Medical Trust. This project has been conceived by Dr. R. Sridhar, project investigator Alok Verma and the coordinators Pooja Murada, Sai Sudha and Kaushalya. Government of India has initiated Elderline toll-free number 14567. Elders or anyone on behalf of elders can call between morning 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for any questions, queries, and support to elderly. Today, we have members of our activating program to share the quotes, which has inspired them a lot, and they will also be sharing some short life experiences reflecting on these inspiring quotes. So let's hear it from Mrs. Sharada Prabhu, Mrs. Sumana Kamath, Mr. Milind B, Mrs. Prabha K. Rao, Mr. Jairam Gupta, and Mrs. Vatsala.
So here we have Mrs. Sharada Prabhu.
I am going to read a quote from Khalil Gibran. Now, on one of my birthdays, my friend had presented me a book. I don't remember the exact name. I think it's called Sayings of the Prophet. And I went through many of them. And I chose this one on children because when I read it, each one will understand it themselves. But I felt that as we grow older, first we cling to our children, then we tend to cling to our grandchildren. And if we seriously ponder about what I'm going to read, I think we'll all be wiser. We will not be disappointed that, our children don't listen to us, grandchildren don't listen to us, they're doing whatever they want and things like that. So I'll just read from Khalil Gibran. Your children are not your children. They are the sons and daughters of life's longing for itself. They come through you, but not from you. And though they are with you, they do not belong to you. You may give them your love, but not your thoughts, for they have their own thoughts. You may house their bodies, but not their souls, for their souls dwell in the house of tomorrow, which you cannot even visit in your dreams. You may strive to be like them, but seek not to make them like you. For life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. Now, this is the best part which we should remember. You are the bows from which your children, as living arrows, are sent forth. The archer sees the mark upon the path of the infinite, and he bends you with all his might, so that his arrows may go swift and far. Let your bending in the archer's hand be for gladness. For even as he loves the arrow that flies, so he loves also the bow that is stable. Thank you.
Thank you, Sharda ma'am. Now we have Sumana Kamath.
Happiness, love, and smile are the best gifts God gave us. The purpose of this life is to share this gift with all. Our greatness is not what we have, but it is what we give. And I think we are the architect of our own future, present days, and to make our life, lead our life happily till end. This is the theme I believe always and have been following this strictly. What may be the circumstances, situations, I always don't miss my smile. Yeah.
Ma'am, that's pretty evident actually. You're always smiling. When you were saying happiness, love, and smile, we could see it on your face.
It's the essence of my life. I have been following it in the younger days. Atmosphere, situation, all like that to encourage me, to love me. So what we take, we have to give,
Thank you, Sumana ma'am. Over to Mr. Milind B.
When I was working about 22 years back in one of the company, Post Motors, where my boss, the director who comes and told me that we have to develop one assembly, and that is a three-wheeler complete body we have to get from outside. And I was just surprised that how I can do this, because total body having some 950 parts, and how I can get it. Then he told me that first you think on this, how to go for it. Then I thought that I will select the vendor and I will go for him. Then he told me that don't go just jump in the conclusion. Just think that you have to select one vendor. Then if the 950 parts are there are 25 suppliers who are supplying these parts. Get assemblies from those parts, and then assemblies you can supply that is easily. And that supplier, that vendor can complete the body, having the facility and all, you can select on that. And on that way, I can gone ahead. But this experience have given me the quote that Henry Ford having the quote that nothing is particularly hard if it divide into smaller jobs. So if there are once any task is there or project is there, then it seems very difficult. That once you told that you have to complete this task, then you see that it is a very big task. But you have to distribute this task in some of the pieces, small pieces. There you can easily complete it. The same is applicable where in financial, when you are having purchase the house cost is very high. But you go for the loan and EMI, then the cost is decreased and you are completing the task. Whether it is health is there, so you can have different parts like exercise is there, diet is there. So this all will combine and it gives you good health. So nothing is hard if you distribute this task with smaller jobs, and you can complete very happily.
Thank you, sir. Over to Mrs. Prabha K. Rao.
ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳಿ ಸಣ್ಣವನಾಗು, ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ದೊಡ್ಡವನಾಗು. ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲದೆ ತಪ್ಪ ಆಗು ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಾಮಾನ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಯಾರು ತಪ್ಪಾಗಿ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ, ಸಾರಿ ಕೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹಿಂಜರಿತಾರೆ. ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ನಾನ್ ಸಣ್ಣವನಾಗ್ತೀನಿ, ನನ್ನನ್ನು ಯಾರೋ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ನನ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ಸಲ್ಟ್ ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲ, ತಪ್ಪಾಯ್ತು ಅಂತ ಕ್ಷಮೆ ಕೇಳೋದು. ಹಾಗೇನೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರಿಂದಾನು ಆಗತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಸಂಸಾರದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಹೊರಗೆ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಏನೇ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ಹೊರಗೇನೆ ಕ್ಷಮಿಸಿ ಬಿಡೋದು, ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ? ಅದನ್ನ ಎಲಾಬ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡಿ ಏನೋ ಅದರಿಂದ ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರಿಗೂ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ, ನಮಗೂ ತೊಂದ್ರೆ. ಕ್ಷಮಿಸ್ಬಿಡೋದು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು. ಇದು ನನ್ನ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲೇ ನಾನು ಕಂಡುಕೊಂಡದ್ದು. ಸೊ ಆದಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನೇ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ. That's all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we have Mr. Jairam Gupta.
ನಾನು ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲೇ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ನೋ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ನಾಳೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಹಿಂದೆ ಮಾಡು, ಹಿಂದೆ ಮಾಡೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಇವತ್ತೇ ಮಾಡು. ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಪೋಸ್ಟ್ಪೋನ್ ಎನಿಥಿಂಗ್ ಯು ವಾಂಟ್ ಟು ಡೂ ಇನ್ ಯುವರ್ ಲೈಫ್. ದಟ್ಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಟೆಡ್. ಮುಂಚೆಯಿಂದ ಅದೇ ಅಭ್ಯಾಸ. ರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದಿ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಡೇಸ್ ಇರ್ಬೋದು, ವೇರ್ ಐ ವಾಸ್ ಇನ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ದಿ 40 year service. Whenever it happened, I used to be punctual, honest, and do whatever work it was. It has to be done on that day only. And try to do, if anything, for tomorrow, complete the job today only. That is the policy I am observing, and today also in family life and everywhere. Because time is precious, no? See, you can't, once the time is lost, everything is lost, we cannot come back. That's why I am practicing that principle, do work timely. That's what I mean. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now, last but not the least, Mrs. Vatsala.
I find my favorite quote as when you are alone, you are never alone when you are with a book. Because I am a lover of books, and this I got even from my childhood, because my father was such a voracious reader of English and Kannada books. So I also automatically and unconsciously I continued. And I should say that I grew up in rural background because my father was in a transferable service. But even then, I picked up English mostly through the books, I should say. And it is not only the English which I have picked up, even when I have been asked to wait for some of the activities when I was working, and after I have stopped working in my retired life, everywhere, wherever I find a little spare time, more than, let us say, 5 to 10 minutes, I reach for a book, a magazine, anything. It can be either Kannada or English, because I can read fast only those two. And in my purse, I make it a point to see that the moment I step out of the house, there should be a book with me. There should be some reading material in my purse. That is a condition. Otherwise, I can even spend extra 10 minutes to search for a good reading material, and only then I step out of the house. So I have finished quite a few of the bestsellers, the novels. I mostly read fiction and classics particularly, and I have traveled throughout Africa through through many of my bestsellers, bestseller author books, and I have done excavations through the geographical such novels, and even America, which I have recently visited only after my son settled there. But I feel that I have visited and I'm a little familiar with the culture, though it is so much different from mine, only because I read quite a number of American books, even British English also. So, irrespective of the subject in the book, I find if the style is good, if the writing by the author is good, if it is gripping, catching, then I would love it. And many times I have even revised, reread those books. And even Kannada. Kannada I never studied formally. And my second language in Hindi, there was Hindi in my school and college, but I have forgotten most of the Hindi because I have stopped watching Hindi movies. And but Kannada, though I never studied formally, I discovered to my pleasure that I was able to write quite a few articles in Kannada. And I even, a few of my articles were even published in Sudha and such magazines because of the subject. So I should say that my grip on Kannada is only because of my reading. And my grip in English, though it is not at all, very great, but it is manageable. And all that is because of the books. And I still believe that the young kids, my grandson, for example, if they are made to develop a reading habit, they will also find that they would be never alone. and they will pick up most of the wise things, what to do, what not to do, the good and the bad of life, all that in a most pleasurable way, not by going through personal experience, but by going through books. That is what my belief is, and I have not come across any experience in my life to change that. So I continue to be a lover of books, and therefore I repeat that I'm never alone because of my love of books. And as long as I have the ability to continue that, I'm determined to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much to all the speakers of the day for sharing such enlightening and inspiring thoughts. We really enjoyed the program. Listeners, I hope you all enjoyed the program as well. Stay tuned to Hiriyaravani for such lovely programs from seniors. Government of India has initiated Elderline toll-free number 14567. Elders or anyone on behalf of elders can call between morning 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. for any questions, queries, and support to elderly. Bye for now. Take care.
ಬಂದಿದೆ ಬಂದಿದೆ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಹಿರಿಯರೇ ಇತರ ರಾಜ ರಾಣಿ, ಹತ್ತೋಣ ನಾವು ಅವರ ನೆನಪಿನ ದೋಣಿ, ಕೇಳುತ್ತಾ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ, ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಖುಷಿ ಪಡೋಣ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿ. ಇದು ಹಿರಿಯರ ಕತೆ ಹಿರಿಯರ ಜೊತೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರ ವಾಣಿಯಲ್ಲಿ. ಕೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇರಿ, ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರಿ.